Hi, this is Amy from the Counseling Center. Couples often ask us, what are some changes that we can implement in our relationship starting today that will result in significant improvements? Whether conducted in the United States or far-off lands, many surveys find the number one reason for divorce is poor communication. When communication is the primary deficit in the relationship, couples who implement these four simple changes often report experiencing significant improvements in their ability to effectively communicate with their partner. The changes include 1. The use of I language, 2. Using reflective listening, 3. Learning how to have healthy disagreements, and 4. Committing to daily check-ins and weekly dates. Why don't you ever listen? You just don't understand me. Why are you always late? These are called you statements, and are the typical way we communicate. We tell the person what he did or didn't do, whether it was right or wrong, or what he should or shouldn't be doing. Such statements, more often than not, sound like accusations and blame. It conveys judgment. No one likes being judged, and hence, it closes down lines of communication. It puts the person on the defense, making him unable and unwilling to be open to what you have to say. Such statements are the most common, and also the most harmful, in relationships marred with conflict. In contrast, I statements make the speaker take responsibility for his or her emotions. We can really only ever know what we are feeling. When we talk about anyone else's feelings, thoughts or behaviors in terms like, you don't love me, or you don't understand, it's all just an assumption. It is our perspective of the situation. When you focus on what you are feeling, rather than on your opinion, it is non-threatening. Hence, it doesn't make the person jump to the defense with all shields up, and instead allows him to drop his guard. Reflective listening is a special type of listening that involves paying respectful attention to the content and feeling expressed in another person's communication. Reflective listening is hearing and understanding, and then letting the speaker know that he or she is being heard and understood. It requires responding actively to another, while keeping your attention focused completely on the speaker. In reflective listening, you do not offer your own perspective, but rather, carefully keep the focus on the other's need or problem. Thus, reflective listening consists of a step beyond what is normally thought of as listening. You can use reflective listening to help you understand what the speaker is saying. It also allows the speaker to feel heard. Reflective listening can help the speaker achieve his or her outcomes. Reflective skills include acknowledgement responses, such as, right, sure, you bet, reflecting content, or essentially summarizing what you have heard in your own words, reflecting feelings, or the emotional content of what has been said, reflecting meaning, which encompasses both emotion and content, and summarizing, which condenses everything the person has said into 2 or 3 sentences. Using reflective listening takes practice. Set aside time each week to practice with your partner. Even the happiest couples have disagreements from time to time. The important thing is these couples are able to solve their disagreements using healthy communication tactics. By following these fair rules for fighting, you too can begin to improve the communication practices in your relationship. Number 1, before you begin, ask yourself why you feel upset. Are you truly angry because your partner left the mustard on the counter? Or are you upset because you feel like you're doing an uneven share of the housework, and this is just one more piece of evidence? Take time to think about your own feelings before starting an argument. Number 2, discuss only one issue at a time. It's very easy for an argument to become derailed when multiple issues are allowed to creep into the conversation. Number 3, don't use degrading language. Discuss the issue, not the person. No put-downs, swearing, or name-calling. Degrading language is an attempt to express negative feelings while making sure your partner feels just as bad. Number 4, use I language, and take responsibility for your emotions. Number 5, take turns talking. This can be tough, but be careful not to interrupt your partner. Number 6, no stonewalling. Sometimes, the easiest way to respond to an argument is to retreat into your shell and refuse to speak. This refusal to communicate is called stonewalling. Note that stonewalling is different from taking a time out, which can be beneficial for some individuals who need time to de-escalate. If your partner is someone who struggles with anger, be sure to give them the necessary time to de-escalate before attempting to engage them in a conversation. Pushing for a resolution before they are capable of engaging in a healthy conversation, simply because you are uncomfortable with conflict, will usually just make the situation worse. Number 7, attempt to come to a compromise or an understanding. There isn't always a perfect answer to an argument. Life is just too messy for that. Do your best to come to a compromise. Or, sometimes it is helpful to ask yourself, would I rather be happy? Or, would I rather be right? Finally, I always recommend that couples set aside 15 to 20 minutes per day to check in with one another, and that they attempt to designate a date night every week, or at a minimum, every other week. The daily check-ins are a great time to practice your reflective listening skills. Turn off the television, put away your electronic devices, and if you have children, perhaps wait until they are asleep for the night. Date nights don't have to be expensive dinners at fancy restaurants. The goal is for you and your partner to have time to focus on each other and your relationship. Leave your phones at home, or at least, place them on silent. And remember, there is nothing on social media that is more important than your partner. Finally, it is advisable to avoid consuming alcohol on date nights, especially if you and your partner have a tendency to argue while under the influence. If you or your partner feel as though your relationship is on thin ice, we can help. Our therapists will help you and your partner learn the necessary communication skills to improve your relationship. To schedule an appointment, or to discuss your specific goals for counseling with one of our therapists, call 317-754-0808, or go to www.tcc-indy.com.